Matt. I have
Yeah,
something great I want to tell you about and our listeners.
do it.
We have some amazing and exciting news. We are launching a Patreon. Woo!
Woo!
For those of you that want to hear more of us and our amazing reviews, you can join us at the bar for more booze and reviews, where we will not just give you tons of great new cocktails or wine, as Matthew likes.
Yes, my favorite.
But we will also be reviewing franchises, because sometimes you don't want to devote all that time. So we will let you know, should you invest or should you say no?
Right.
We have a level for everyone, or you can buy us a drink, which is at your own level donation. So if you love what we do, and we know you do, the numbers tell us so, and want to join us, come join us at the After Hours bar.
Do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version to our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother, Matt.
Hey, you guys.
And this month's theme is sibling movies. April 10th is National Sibling Day, and we are siblings, so we picked movies with siblings. On this episode, we will be talking about the Skeleton Twins.
Yes, we will.
So first of all, before we get started talking about the movie, what are you drinking?
I am drinking wine. I'm drinking a nice
You're such a wine whore.
I am. I love wine, but I'm drinking it for this movie because at dinner with the mom, which I want to talk about, they drink wine. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, I know what my drink is. And I wrote it in the margin. So that is what I'm drinking for this movie because it's appropriate. What are you drinking?
So, these are not twin sisters. They're fraternal twins, a
Yes.
brother and a sister. But my drink is the twin sisters.
Oh,
and
right
it's
on.
really just a rum and coke with lime juice. It just uses light rum,
Gotcha.
dark rum, lime juice, and coke. So,
Nice.
but delicious, and we'll
I'll
drink
bet.
it.
I'll bet it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the trailer for this before I watched it. I normally don't because I'm all like, the trailer just might make me like it and then I'll hate it, but whatever. But I watched the trailer and I thought it looked decent. I thought it would be funnier because you know what gets me about these dark comedies? They make it seem like it's gonna be like hilarious and then just throw in a little splash of suicide in there. But it was not funny, like in my opinion.
Not because it has Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader in it. I thought for sure it was gonna be funny. No.
But before I just want to say one more thing. You picked this movie because you who hurt you? I know I've asked this before. Who hurt you? Because this movie is
really think that I have been really traumatized.
This movie is dark.
It's dark. I didn't think it was dark. I picked it because, it was like, I thought it was going to be a quirky twin movie because they're two funny people. I'd never seen it before. And I watched the trailer and the trailer made it look fine. It didn't make it look all dark. And it is dark. Like they touch on there's a reason the suicide is the underlying theme of this movie.
Yeah, which can I just I don't know where you have it. Okay, so I'm trying to take over. So at that beginning when Bill Hader, don't ask me to remember their names because I don't do
Milo and Maggie.
Oh, can I hold on? I want to show you something. So I wore this specifically for this episode. I'm wearing my skeleton pajamas.
Yes.
Okay. So stupid. Okay. So I thought it was
awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So Bill Hader, he tries to commit suicide, and it's around the same time that Kristen Wiig tries to also do a thing to commit suicide with the pills. Yep. Do you think, now I don't believe in this, but do you think she felt his like depression / suicidal thoughts and was like getting that twin vibe and she was just like, I'm gonna do it?
No, Because
Yeah.
I think they both suffer from mental illness because their dad jumped off a bridge. He committed suicide.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I
And
forgot
he
about that.
called them the gruesome twosome, like right away in the
Right
beginning
on.
before anything else. I think it just because it's really not that she feels it. I think it's more of a because he slit his wrists and it's just a coincidence that he was found. Someone complained about the noise,
Right.
so his landlord went to
Which I
deal
always
with it.
wonder about that. Did he subconsciously do that on purpose because he wanted somebody to find him?
See, when he wrote the note, I'm not gonna lie, and he turned up the music, I thought he was gonna shoot himself because he
That's a
turned
good
up the music. But then when he got in the bathtub and slit his wrist, I was in the back of my mind while I was sitting there. I was like, why did he turn up the music?
right. Yeah. Cause my whole thing was like, if you're gonna listen, if I'm gonna do it, trust me, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I just like I was all like, you're not really putting in 100%. You know what I'm saying?
So I will say this that men who commit suicide usually choose routes that are like 100% guaranteed, where
Right.
women will choose methods that, they could survive. Someone could find them in time.
Right.
He picks slitting your wrist. That's not a definite.
Right on.
Guys usually hang themselves or shoot themselves or
Right. Yeah.
jump off of things.
Yeah. Guys, we're getting heavy right off the bat.
Well, we are.
Wait,
It's a topic.
can I also say this movie was a slow burn for me? I don't know how you felt about it, but I do say on a positive note, even though Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader are not siblings, it felt like they were real life siblings to me.
I was gonna say I did totally get sibling vibes from them, like, I don't know, way
Yeah.
more than I would have thought that I would have.
Yeah, and one
That's
more thing. Vetta,
yeah.
have you read Marley and Me?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
I
Well,
also saw the movie.
why is it so sad? What happens at the end? What's going on? Why is that so sad?
Marley dies.
What? I
I
was like,
know.
look, I was so close to being funny. I only had a chapter left, Vetta.
That was funny. I did buy that for a second
Right
and then
on.
he was fucking with her. So I am gonna throw this in there just in case that, if anyone is feeling unsafe and is considering suicide, please call the suicide hotline. They are there
Yeah.
24 hours a day to assist you. Mental illness
And we will
is
leave a link.
real.
Yeah, we will leave a link
Yeah.
in the description down below.
All right.
Um, okay. So then after he does the Marley and Me joke, I'm sorry, I know I'm taking over,
That's okay.
but I just want to say I just have thoughts on this whole first moment after she winds up at the hospital. Okay.
Can I
So
stop you
she
for 2 seconds though before that?
yeah, go
Can
ahead.
we talk about the part where they're twins, yet they haven't spoken or seen each other in 10 years?
I did think that but well, I was going to mention this at the end, but I'll mention it now. I think that, that is a problem, but I thought that this movie was really like I thought it was endearing in the sense that like siblings, even though you have like a falling out, your relationship with your sibling is worth fighting for. Like you and I, like we don't get to see each other very often, except for every time we record every Saturday when we record these podcasts.
Right.
But those relationships are really worth fighting. I know I'm getting all sentimental and shit, but it's really worth fighting for. And I think that this movie really like highlights that even though these two people are a little bit messed up and they had a falling out.
Well, they didn't really have a falling out.
Yeah,
She
but
thought
don't.
she was doing the right. It was a falling out, but in my mind, I side with her. She
Oh, I side with her.
100% was
Oh,
correct. And
we are gonna talk about
we'll
that.
get there. Yeah,
Go.
we'll get there.
But I
So
did write down after the Marley and Me thing, she says, I see you got your sense of humor back. And I was like, does he really have a great sense of humor? Because the whole time I'm just all like, this isn't funny. I didn't
it's
find this
very
funny at
dry.
all.
It's
So
very dry.
it is very dry, which I'm not a dry humor kind of girl. So all right. Continuing. I'm done now. Go ahead.
Okay. So the entire hospital situation is so awkward between the two of them. Because again, it's been like 10 years since
Right.
they've spoken or anything. So she invites Maggie invites Milo back to live with her and her husband Lance in New York.
That's her name.
Yeah.
I wrote
They're
down
Maggie and
Kristen
Milo.
and Bill for everything, just so you know. Oh, and I love how he mentions goldfish, and she's like, you can buy goldfish in New York. I just want to say right now, goldfish are not pets, people. They're not pets. They like barely have faces. So I'm just
But he
saying.
didn't have like the traditional like carnival goldfish. He had this like big bulgy eye fat goldfish.
Yeah, I don't
He
yeah,
didn't
they're
have
not
the,
those are not pets
ring the
though.
Coke
Fish are
bottle.
not pets. They're just things,
No.
in my opinion.
No,
I'm
they're
sorry.
just scenery in your apartment or house. They're
Yeah,
pretty to
my
look at.
if I ever owned a fish, it wouldn't greet me at the door or at the edge of its container, being like, hey, Dad, what'd you do? What'd you do? My dog
I
will.
will state this. We had Bob the beta fish.
Bob the beta
He
fish.
Bob the beta fish.
Beta male.
He lived forever. He was the most well-traveled fish on the earth.
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
joking.
Yeah.
He went to he came
He
to
saw all of
Michigan with
Europe.
us.
Wait, what'd
Yeah,
you
he
say?
saw all the Midwest.
Okay.
He traveled with us in a
Brought
pitcher of
your fish
water.
with you? You're weird.
We
Brought my fish.
stayed home for a week.
Can't. Oh my
We
god!
put him in
You
like a
brought your fish
teenager.
on. Oh, I'm not even going to deal with you right now with that nonsense. Okay, cool, great. Look at you. You brought your fish. That's so weird. All right, hey, cool, cool. That's what kept him alive so long.
Right? Because we took him everywhere. He was part of the
I'm
family.
crying over your fish story, and it wasn't even a story, it was a sentence. Oh my god. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, so the first time Milo didn't even go to his sister's wedding because the first time he meets Lance is
Oh,
when Lance comes into the bedroom and is like, "Hi, I'm Lance."
yeah. Which, first off, I just want to say her house, awesome. Why do they always put awesome house? Can't anybody have a crappy house
Mm-mm.
anymore in a movie? Um, and then Lance, even though Lance was like very like manly and shit, he felt like low energy to me the whole time.
Yeah, he felt like he was trying too hard. Like he didn't believe any of the shit he was spewing.
Yeah, and not even in like a good way. Like
No.
it was very like, I don't know, like I said, low energy. Like I was all like he's a go-getter with his business or whatever he was doing for a job, brush removing. But I was just like, Lance seems very low energy to me.
Yeah, he definitely was something else in this.
I'd
Um
still smash though.
so my favorite is they're at dinner and Milo is all like, because Lance says, we're trying to get pregnant.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Milo's like, I thought you never wanted to have kids. And she's like, people can change.
Which
And
is
then
true.
it is totally true. I wasn't gonna have kids and I have a horde of them
Yep,
now.
I was the same way.
So my favorite thing is like he talks about how Maggie is taking scuba lessons, and then Lance starts talking about this rare experience he had with a sea turtle
Oh my
in the
God,
ocean.
yes.
And Milo's like, wait, isn't that common? And he's like, no, no, no. Regular turtles that you see in streams and swamps. That's
Mhm.
every day. Sea turtles
Yeah,
are
that's why.
rare.
Yeah. That's why I felt like it was like he was just so low energy because I was like, because then like later on, I'm bringing this up. I don't know if you have it in your notes, but he brings up the crab thing for that show, and he's all like lobsters, and she's like, no, those are crabs, and he's like, are they? They could be, and she's like, yeah, no, they are, and I'm all like, yeah, how do you mix these up, dude? What's going on with you? What's wrong with you, Lance? Like, what's going on?
You should ask him who hurt him because
Yeah, I
I
should. I should. But I did write down why are they having a baby? I feel like she doesn't even love him, in my opinion. Like
Oh, what
she
was the
is
first clue that she keeps taking classes that have male instructors and sleeping with them?
yeah,
I
she
mean,
is I wrote down she is fucking everybody except for her husband.
everybody
Like
but her husband.
plus I wrote down she's not worth it, in my opinion. She's not a high quality woman, in my opinion. If we're being honest.
Yeah. So so then Milo the next day goes for a walk and he ends up in a bookstore.
Yes. He should
And
go ahead.
Rich, who is
That's his
the
name.
His name's Rich. He's from Modern Family. I
I
love
wrote him down, Modern Family Guy.
Yeah, I love his character. His character's Phil in Modern Family. It's great. So, you can tell right away him and Rich have a past, but you don't know what.
Oh yeah. Well, I wrote down excuse me, he shouldn't have gone to see that teacher or started up a relationship back up with him. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
But start a relationship up with him. He's a predator. I just want to say that he is a predator.
Agreed.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So after that, he goes to the I'm assuming is a gay bar.
Oh, Vetta, Dyke Night.
Okay, this was, just to be clear, this was made in 2014. I doubt they would call it Dyke Night now. I'm only repeating it because that's what the movie says.
I just want to say I work with lesbians and they totally use that word like nonchalantly. Okay. It's like a thing. It's just like the gays. They will use the F word. Flag minus the L. I was called that plenty in high school. But they use that very like just openly, like, you know, I'm all like, okay, you guys, we're just
they're
we're going
taking
here.
It back. Good for them.
They are taking it back, which I go, you can have it. It's fine. I'm good.
You're
fine.
Like, I never liked it to begin with.
It's totally fine. It's cool. Okay.
But I absolutely love it that he's sitting there drinking his drink and he's like, when do all the men get here? And the lady's like, they don't. It's Dyke Night. And he's like, are you shitting me? It's
but he made the best of it. He learned how to throw darts. I was like, I don't even know how to throw darts.
He goes into his sister's room at like 3 a.m. to tell her about Dyke Night.
Right. That was inappropriate.
What was it? Sandra and somebody else?
I don't know.
The two lesbians that taught him how to throw darts.
Yeah, that was inappropriate. And she does a lot of this in this movie where she calls him out for his nonsense. And I was like, good on you, Kristen Wiig. Yeah. Like, he needs to be called out on his nonsense, because you can't just walk into my bedroom in the middle of the night to yell at me, okay? Over
to tell me about the fun you had on Dyke Night.
Exactly. I was like, he is being inappropriate. Good for you for calling him out for that.
Yeah. So, and at some point during all this, and I can't remember when, it shows that Maggie is taking birth control, which is the reason why her and Lance, excuse me, aren't getting pregnant. She's hiding them in their fancy soap basket.
Right.
Do you have a fancy soap basket?
We do not.
We don't either.
Yeah, we do not. I'm all like, we just have the squirt soap.
Us too. So the next day, Maggie goes to scuba class, and she goes to the bar after scuba class with scuba instructor and screws him in the bathroom.
Right, she does. Okay, can I just back it up? Is the her giving offering him a job for brush removal?
Oh,
is that before that? Because I wrote it down.
I have that somewhere. Hold on.
I want to get to the bathroom sex, though. I do want to get to that.
Yeah, it's before that. My bad.
Okay. So I loved how she was all like, you're going to remove brush. And he's like, what is that? Like sticks and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, stop acting like, I hate when people act dumber than they really are. You know what brush means. Okay. Stop it. And then I like how he's all like,
we also talk about how he dressed for his brush?
Oh, that's what I have next. Because he's like, can I wear a sexy outfit? Do I get a sexy outfit? And then he wears a scarf I'm all like, what's going on here?
He's wearing a graphic tee with gloves with the fingers cut out and a scarf that he keeps flipping around his.
Yeah, which I'm all like, you clearly have never done manual labor before, because you don't know how to dress for it.
He's picking them up one twig at a time.
Yeah, it was so good. I was like, this is you're just feeding into stereotypes.
Living up to the stereotype.
Yeah, that's exactly
what he's doing. All right.
Okay.
So now we're to scuba guy bathroom sex.
Which
I just say,
go ahead.
I'm just going to make this statement. I have said it before when we have had movies with scenes of bathroom sex. Disgusting. Don't do it. So many germs. It's just gross.
And it's not as good as they make it out to be. Like, these movies, they make it out to be like it's so flawless. There are plenty of like logistical problems. You're like, you put your leg up here and you're like, like move here. It's not as easy
You're
as they think
setting
it
the
is.
girl up on the counter, but you're just assuming that the counter aligns everything correctly.
Exactly. You're all like,
You're short. No way. If you're
yeah,
too
my dick is
tall,
not that
fuck
long.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is
And it
I
does, it needs to be a certain length to
yeah.
be able to like
Yeah,
go
it's
and do.
that's that. Yeah, I agree. Like it's just so, and I would never public bathrooms are
Bathrooms are
gross. Ugh,
disgusting. Ugh.
disgusting. Gross.
And yeah. And I just feel like there's just urine and feces particles everywhere. Just
Yeah,
don't touch
yeah. It's
anything. Get out as
oh
quickly as
yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
Ugh.
she got a vaginal infection from the poop
Oh, for sure.
particles for
She's,
sure. Yeah.
if she doesn't
There's
have chlamydia, she's at least got a yeast
yeah,
infection with a UTI.
right on.
So, yeah. So then she gets home and
With the
her,
fish tank.
nope. No, oh, yeah, with the fish tank.
With
You're
the fish
right. I
tank.
forgot about the fish tank. And her
Yeah.
mom's there.
Oh my God. I have like so many notes on the mom. I want to talk about her, but go ahead. You go. Mhm.
So the minute she sees her mom, so she was all super excited. She bought a fish tank for her
Mhm.
brother.
Yep.
Super excited. She sees her mom and drops the fish tank.
Yeah,
Lance,
go
being the
ahead.
guy is like, nobody move. I'll
There's
clean it up.
glass. Yeah.
Right. And
Mm.
Judy is all super excited to be there.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember her name. I just wrote down the mom, but can I just say I am loving the mom right off the bat. I'm loving her, but exactly okay, can you exactly what is wrong with the mom? Like there's got to be a little bit of mental retardation right there, right? Right? Just a
there's
little bit.
definitely something mentally wrong
Yeah,
with her.
there's something going on. Because I love my favorite line that she says. My favorite line is she goes, I love arches. The Grand Canyon. That's
It's
old
like,
news.
I've been to that one. It's beautiful. And I'm like,
But she
why am I missing something about
loves,
arches?
yeah, she loves arches. And as soon as I love arches, and I was like, wait, what? What's there's a spiritual energy? And I was like, to arches? I was like, I like it when my wife arches her back, if you get what I'm saying. But I'm like, I'm confused on this. This
There's
arches thing.
a lot that the mom said that confused me.
Oh gosh, but
Hey,
I love when they were meditating. She's like, "Do you feel that? Do you feel cleansed?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
well,
Like I wrote down here because she mentioned crystals.
yeah.
Crystals
So
are bullshit. Like if you're
yeah,
one of those people, like kick rocks, kick crystals, okay? Get the hell out of here with that nonsense. Crystals and the energy in your
well,
chakras. Get out
well,
of here
can
with that
I just
nonsense.
tell you right now,
Yeah, tell
because
me.
of all of this that you have coming out at me right now, I'm
Mhm.
gonna send you the light.
Oh my God, I was gonna end that with this, but I love that. I just want you to know I am sending you the light. That's so good. As soon as she said that, I literally was like in my living room watching it with my wife, and I go, what does that even mean? What does that mean?
You're
Mm.
like, should I Google this, or is Google gonna say you fucking stupid? Why
Yeah,
are you Googling this?
yeah. I even asked, I was like, what is that, baby? You're into, astrology and that weird shit. What is the light mean? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm a Sagittarius, So I was, it was so
I
weird.
was like, is that just like a greeting or something? I'm sending you
Yeah,
the
oh
light.
yeah, or yeah, it was just weird. The mom, listen, the mom was weird, but I loved her every second.
Oh
Like
yeah,
like
like
when she missed her daughter's wedding because she had an enlightenment ceremony or
retreat.
some retreat, and I'm all like, and I love how the daughter hated her. Like I'm all like, oh, you are such a bitch, but I am here for it. I'm here for it.
Can they make a movie of her raising these
Oh
two
my
twins?
God, that was so good.
I would watch that.
Like yeah,
Because
she's
they
just
weren't
feeding them.
buying her shit at all. Like all of a sudden when she like had to go, and it was because that's where her enlightenment retreat was held that year. Both of them were all of a sudden like, fuck you. We knew it was too good to be true. You weren't here to see us. You were just here for this bullshit.
Yeah, like I feel like for like if she like as them growing up, she's just feeding them like Morning Star burgers and patchouli for breakfast. I'm all like this is not the right kind of parent. Like
Right.
Like I feel like these kids were doomed from the beginning with the
Yeah.
type of parents they had.
Yeah. I feel like dad was the fun one and mom was just the weird lady in the neighborhood.
But the dad was a fun one in a weird way, I feel like he was just like not like
See,
kosher.
and I don't think they give us enough information. Do you
I
think that
agree.
he called him the gruesome twosome and Halloween was his favorite holiday? Do you think maybe they were like October babies or something and he was just rolling with
Maybe.
it?
Maybe. I don't know. I did feel like the dad had a lot of problems,
Well, he
obviously.
does jump off a bridge.
Right.
So
But
I would
I
agree.
just yeah, maybe it wasn't the best environment for children, you know.
Agreed. Yeah, you got to have a license to drive a car and to catch a fish, but any asshole can have kids.
Ain't that the
So,
truth? You know, I always tell people, I'm like, you ever been to IKEA? Well, I'm telling you right now, I've never went home drunk from a bar and built an IKEA bookshelf, but I have gotten a woman pregnant, if you know what I'm saying. You know, like it's not
that
that
should be the
hard.
precursor.
Yeah,
If you want to
yeah,
have a kid, they
yeah,
put you in a room and they're like, here's some IKEA furniture.
yeah.
Do
Build
this
it.
in 2 hours and you can have a baby.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't that the truth, sister? If they build it, then if you build it, you can come.
I like it. If you build it, they can go. I'm sure there's a movie out there with that name.
We should, you know what? We're writing it right now. Right? We're me and you, sister. Okay.
So then the next thing happens the next morning, which I'm done. Lance needs to go away. He's crossed a line.
Oh,
I'm done with
I'm,
him.
yeah.
He is wearing those weird ass toe shoes, socks, whatever they are, but they're like made out of that like rubber material that like what do they call Crocs is made out of, but they're form fitting and they have the toes to them. And I'm just like, no, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Lance, go get hit by a bus. I don't care if you're the nicest guy in the world. I'm done.
Yeah,
I
and
don't.
Bill Hader does like Bill Hader always subtly in this movie calls him out for his fashion choices, and I'm all like, I understand you hate him, Bill, but he's kind of like way more manly than you. Like at least he knows how to clear brush and everything. When is that before or after they that's after. And I love how Kristen Stewart's eating that grapefruit and she's like, I don't even want to finish this, eat this. And I was like, oh my God, I love grapefruit. It's so delicious. And like
But that's also a sibling thing too. I don't know the rest of this. You
yeah,
finish it.
yeah. But like
So,
as soon as she passed it off, if that was me at breakfast, I'm like, thank you. I was eyeballing it. Thank
you're like, I was
you.
wondering if you were gonna finish that. Pass me the sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't that the truth?
So then again, Milo pisses me off because he's in the car having a chat with Rich, but you don't realize he's pissing you off yet. Like,
Was it wait, real
at
quick,
the
was this before or after she asks him if she would be a good mom?
that is right about the same time. It happens
Okay,
just before.
finish your thought and then I want to talk about that.
I mean, all I was gonna say is that's where they are, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I just knowing what happens in the end and the whole situation with Rich, like at first I thought Rich was just a guy who was suppressing his gay side, like he was really
Right,
gay
right,
because he talks about having a kid and a
right,
girlfriend and all of that. So I thought he was just a guy that hadn't come out of the closet. So I was
right,
like, oh, well, you've lived through that. You're kind of like telling him everything's okay and blah, blah,
right.
blah. Now in hindsight, I'm like, get out of the fucking car, run.
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which I'm sorry, but Bill Hader in this movie, his character is he's like a glutton for punishment. And I'm all like, what's going on with you? Like, get the clue, sister. He's not
Yeah,
into you.
he's one of those people that is always sabotaging himself somehow.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
that's a great explanation of it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about real quick the scene where she's like, do you think I would be a good mom?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, Bill Hader is obviously so stupid. When anybody and he says that's a loaded question in this movie, and it is a loaded question. First off, if anybody's listening to this and you are a woman, never ask that question unless you're willing to get the truth. Okay, because I was like, because he was nicer than I was. I would have been like, no, you would be a horrible mother. You're like,
Oh, and in my personal opinion, I go, if you're asking that question, you're not ready.
That ain't that the truth. You already know the answer to that question
Yeah.
if you're asking it. That's so true.
You
But
just
it's
feel bad for the answer, and you want somebody else to make you feel good about it, or at least to reassure you that you're correct.
yeah, and she wouldn't be a good mom. She's already messed up and she can't even keep her marriage focused, that she wouldn't be a good parent. And I just go like, I go, you're mad at your brother for telling you like not even the truth. Like, I'm sorry. He's all like, you'd be a little, overprotective. And I'm like, yeah, you're not telling her the truth. She'd be a horrible mother. She'd be a horrible mother. She has no examples of a good mom. So she would be a bad one.
No, and she doesn't want kids. If you don't want kids, how are you going to be a good mother?
Yeah, right.
Unless, and I'm sure there's exceptions to every rule. There's probably that mom out there that was all, I don't want to have kids. I mean, like I said, I didn't think that I was ever going to have kids, and it wasn't me wanting kids that changed my mind. It was the person that I had them with.
Right.
That's what changed my
I'm in
mind.
the same boat with you. I
So,
I did not want children until I
yeah,
met my
but
wife.
if she's like, what, 2 years into a marriage and she's still asking that question, the answer is no, because the person hasn't changed her mind.
Right, exactly. No, I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah, like this movie is like dark, but it touches on so many like
Ain't that the truth,
serious
sister? It does.
situations that you're
It
like,
does.
man, I'm not drunk enough to handle this
Right?
yet.
Ain't that right? Yeah. That's so true. You're like, oh God, I need my sister here to talk about this shit.
Right.
Um, okay. So can we go over to when he goes and picks her up from work?
The dental.
Oh my God. First off, that gas, that gas is awesome. That dental gas that they give you.
The laughing gas.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that stuff is so good. Like even when my kids go, I'm like, hey, can I get that? Can I get that shit? And they're like, no. And I'm like, what? What are you talking
Having a
about?
little bit of rough day with these little
Yeah.
whippersnappers. Can you give me a
Yeah.
little, just give me a little taste?
Yeah. And she's wearing those big, like those big mouth braces with the head guard and everything. I was like, oh,
Headgear.
this is so good. I'm loving, and I love how she's like, let me clean your teeth. I'm a licensed dental hygienist, and I just wanted to be like, who gives a shit, Kristen? I'm not letting you touch my teeth. Get out of
Oh
here.
my God, not me. I love having my teeth cleaned. I've been like, let's go, girl.
That's true. I do too. But I mean, I don't know. Kristen, her character seemed a little out of it.
But no, that's just in her personal life. Like,
Oh,
she
that's a good
can't keep
point.
her
You're good.
personal life shit. That's where all of her shit comes from.
That's a
Her
good
job.
point.
I think she would be really great with her job. I'd be like, yeah. Can I come back every
Okay.
Thursday and you can do this?
Right.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
right. Okay. So while they're in this whole thing, I want to talk about Bill Hader being all like, I ate pussy. Because
Oh,
because then he goes on to describe it like he was out to sea. And he mentions, so doesn't he say the word it was moist? And I'm like, okay, like you mean it was wet, normal, like the way he described it in a way that a gay man would describe eating vagina in
which
an
makes it sounds disgusting to
yeah,
everyone
and
and
I'm all
no
like,
one should do it.
yeah, exactly. He was like, it was moist, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. I'm like, you weren't doing it right then. If that's your takeaway from it, then you weren't doing it right. Because when my wife is, and I'm getting a little too personal, sorry about it, but when she's moist, I'm putting up the quotations. That's a good thing because I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? I'm working my lips. You know what I'm saying? But the way he was describing it, like, and the girl and his sister was like, ugh, and I'm all like, no, you want it to be wet. That's a good thing. Like, I were you in the same boat as me? Like, that's not
I
a bad
just was
thing.
so confused by that because I was like, first of all, she's all like, yuck. And I'm like, do you not know how this happens?
Exactly. Is
Is this
Lance
not been
is
a thing you've experienced?
yeah, is Lance
That
against
whole the
this?
conversation confused me. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, because you
was
want it
she
to be like a
trying to
waterfall.
side with him?
Yeah. Psh, you want to be like a waterfall. Like, I'm all like,
Right. So the only thing I could think of is she was doing that supportive sibling thing where you're like, oh yeah, oh,
although
gross.
didn't he use the word pungent in there? Which
Yes.
which I was like, oh, if it smells,
That's
that's
not good.
that's not good. But
No,
that's not
that's
on
not.
your part. And at the same time, listen,
If that
And
happens, you
again,
should tell the female she
well,
needs to see a
no, do
doctor.
not tell the don't listen to her. She's bad. She's bad at this. First off, I've been in that situation where it does not taste good, if you get what I'm saying. It tastes like, like fish of the sea, whatever that is called, that brand is called, Fisherman of the Sea. Anyways, um, where you're like, I'm not in the mood for this. But you listen, there's ways to get around that, guys. Listen, just go to YouTube, check out some videos. There's a way to get around that. There's ways to get around
And
that.
I'm just going to say, no matter what he says, if that is occurring, she's sick. She has an infection of some
Right.
sort and needs to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Leave a note as you're leaving. Somehow tell her, text it to her later. Say, hey, just FYI, you should go to the doctor. Write it on a note. Leave it
Or
on the
at
counter.
minimum, take a shower.
There's that too. Well, that's a different kind of situation. If
Yeah,
she smells all sweaty like she's been at the gym doing squats for 4 hours, yeah, she's just dirty. There's a difference between being dirty and sick.
Yeah, no, like the whole time I was just like, when again, I'm reiterating, but the whole time he was like talking about it, I was like, this doesn't sound like a necessarily bad thing. Okay.
So then
Go
you
ahead.
have after the teeth cleaning, you have Matt. Well, at the teeth cleaning, that's when Milo finds out that Maggie keeps taking classes with male instructors and sleeping with the male instructors.
Yeah, what a whore.
And then again, he's with Rich, which drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely drives me insane.
Yeah.
What did you think about the dancing lip syncing?
Oh my God,
portion?
Vetta.
I loved that.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Loved
Vetta,
that.
we need to recreate that, but like with green screen for me and you, I feel like it could work. I really do.
I think we could make that work. I would love that.
Vetta, okay, but it's done then. It's done. We're gonna do it, you guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I wrote down, I enjoyed this sequence so much. I love how she was like all like not playing along, and Lance came in, he was like watching and everything, but he was like not playing along either. But I love how she was like sitting there but like doing that thing where she was like smirking with her little like lip curl and everything. Like she wanted to sing so bad. It's like try not to sing with this song, but she was like, I'm gonna fail. Because as soon as she started singing, I was like, oh, you should have came in like 3 minutes ago.
You should have given in way long ago.
Oh, it was
because you could tell they had done this before because they had the moves and everything.
And I love that song. I don't know how you feel about that Jefferson Starship song, but I love that song. It's so good. It's so good. I loved it so much. Okay.
So then after that, again, Milo goes to visit Rich.
Yeah, and I want to just touch on this a little bit. And I did write Cliff. Is that his name, Cliff?
Who?
Isn't that the guy's name? The teacher.
No,
okay,
Rich.
Whatever. Anyways, I wrote down Cliff. Anyways, Cliff is a dick to Bill Hader
because he doesn't want anyone to know that he likes dudes.
And I just go, he's just there to as soon as he kicked, he's like, my son's here. And I'm all like, oh, so you're just gonna fuck him and leave him? Fuck you, dude. Yeah. I'm like, he gave you the best orgasm of your life. Get out of here with that now. Kick rocks. I'm like, don't be a dick to him just because he comes over to your house while your kid is there. Okay, you could have made up some excuse.
Right. And it was clearly your kid didn't think anything of it when he answered the door.
Yeah. His kid was so nonchalant about it. And you were being such a dick to him for no reason.
But because he's clearly in the closet and he's freaking out that people are going to know the truth. Well, which for other reasons.
Yeah, which I just go, listen, it's what year did this come out? I can't remember.
2014.
Okay, it's circa 2014. Trust me, everybody's okay with it, bud. Okay. Your kid will be fine. All right.
And then
Claire, or whatever his girlfriend's name is, will be fine. Okay. Yeah. She'll move on.
And then Milo goes to the bar to drink.
Oh, yeah. I love when he's up on the roof, but we'll talk about that when you get to
it. Then he goes up to the roof and he gets taken home by the police.
Yeah, real quick, he dropped that whale little token that he had.
And he's like swimming it at first, and then he...
Yeah, which I was all like, oh, you shouldn't have got rid of that because it was super cute. I would have kept it. But
And then the
And then
police officer comes up and is
yeah,
like, what are you doing? And he's like, I wasn't going to jump. I was waiting for you, Mr. Fat Man.
officer man. I wrote that down because I love that
Officer
line. I was like,
Fat
I'm gonna
Man.
use that next time. The next time I'm get pulled over, I'm like, I was waiting for you, officer man.
No, he says Officer Fat Man.
Oh, does he? I was like,
He totally
and the
does.
officer
Don't
gets
say
like
that.
right off the bat, he gets upset. And I'm like, he's clearly drunk, asshole. Come on, calm down, calm down. So
So Maggie claims him and says,
she
yes,
claims him,
he
yeah, which I'm
belongs
all
to
like,
me.
I'm like, Maggie is claiming you an awful lot, dude. You owe her a lot.
Every time she turns around, she's got to claim you from
Right?
somewhere.
Ain't that the truth?
So the next
Um,
day apparently is, oh, go ahead.
no, I just want to talk about his story about the bully from
Oh,
from
yeah.
high school. I just wrote down bully kid. And he gives this like
Justin.
long what?
His name's Justin.
Whatever. I didn't write that down. You stop it. You know I'm not good with names. You're all like
Down
saying
either. I just remember.
well, okay, well, I don't remember Justin's name. Anyways, okay, so he writes down he says that this bully from school and how their dad told them that he peaked in high school, and he's all like, but he's really got a great life, he's got two beautiful kids, and and it was him that peaked in high school. And I go, and I me personally, okay, two things. One, I don't necessarily agree with that he peaked in that Bill Hader peaked in high school. And two, I have a story too. I had a bully in high school. I don't want to say his name because I'm not like that. But he was such a douche to me for no reason. I was such a nice kid in high school. I know I can say that about myself because I believe it.
Oh no, he
And
really was.
yeah,
Like he would
I
have,
was a good,
if you were like, I'm cold, he'd take off his shirt and give it to you, or he'd be like, wait
yeah,
here and run halfway across the school to get your sweater out of your locker.
yeah,
He
yeah.
really
I
was.
was a good kid in high school. I was turn the other cheek kind of person. And
And
there
he
was
was the
one,
kid that you could have called for, he could be on a date and you're like, Matt, I'm drunk and I can't drive and my dad's going to kill me. He would drive, pick you up, take care of you, and then call your parents and say you're staying the night at his house.
yeah,
Like, he's not joking.
yeah. So there was one person, I remember their name very specifically, and they were really not nice to me in high school, like physically. And so I looked him up a long time ago, and he married somebody that I actually like from our high school, and I actually liked them. She was such a nice person, and they have kids, and I'm all like, you know what, you don't deserve a good life. And I'm so annoyed that you have, I mean, like, I'm not like Bill Hader. I have two beautiful children. I'm married. I'm so happy. But I'm like, you don't deserve it. You are not a nice person. And I don't believe that you grew as a person. So I kind of get that whole point, but I do believe that Bill Hader did not peak in high school. Like I don't know. I liked his
I
personality.
always like to think that people that bullied people in high school will then have children who are bullied in the
Oh, that's
same
a good.
way that they
Ooh,
bullied.
Betta,
So
thank you
they
for
will
making me
have
feel
to
good
see
about
it.
myself. Yeah, I hope his kids are bullied hardcore. Yeah, that's
And,
good. I
and
like
in the
that.
exact same way that he bullied. So it's like a
Oh
deja vu
yeah.
type of thing.
He would hit
Yeah.
me and shit. That shit was hardcore. It sucked.
Yeah.
So okay. So then I also wrote down the line. I love how Kristen Hader was like, no one's she's like, you want to be a famous actor? No one's a famous actor. And he's like, George Clooney's a famous actor. And she's like, all right, well, that's the exception. I was like, no,
They
there's
have this whole thing called the Academy Awards,
right.
the Emmys, the Tonys. There are a lot of
Yeah,
famous.
no, there are plenty of famous actors. Like, I mean, Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, love
Just
Brad
trying to
Pitt.
make him feel
Yeah,
better. And
right. Which I just
doing a terrible job.
I like laughed out loud because I don't think you know this very well. Like, you're
I
great.
said, I said she doesn't watch a lot of TV.
Right. That's so true. That's so true. Um, okay, go ahead.
All right. So the next day, I'm assuming it's the next day. It could be the next month. I don't know. Because this does skip around. Like you
It
don't
does.
know.
I think it's the
Um,
next day.
yeah, I think it's the next day too. It's Halloween.
Yes.
And this is like their holiday. Like their dad
Oh yeah,
loved
yeah.
it. They got all dressed up.
Mhm.
She digs through shit. Like she's got a plan and she finds
Yes.
this dress
Yes.
and she dresses Milo up in drag, and he looks good, like 1950s
What?
housewife going out to a fancy dinner. Oh,
No,
you
I'm
don't
sorry.
see
I
it?
wrote down Bill Hader is so ugly as a woman. He
He's
looks
straight
awful.
out of like Mad Men, like going to the
Get out of
fancy
here with that
dinner with
nonsense.
his
He looks
clothes and
like
his hair and his makeup.
stop. He looks like a Wish version of a drag queen. It's ridiculously bad. I was like, he should have been mad at her because she did a bad job with his makeup. The dress is awful. And he's like, it still fits. And I'm like, yeah, because it's bad. It's like, oh, for an overweight lady, his wig is gross. It was bad. I'm sorry. It was bad.
Oh,
What?
oh.
It was not adorable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I get maybe her and you are trying to be nice, but it was bad. It was bad. We need to be honest about it.
Okay, well, anyways, he's dressed up as a woman going to a dinner party,
Right?
and they're doing the cemetery walk, and they say
Oh,
they
yeah.
hadn't done that since dad was alive. Okay, I don't know what a cemetery walk is, but I feel
Right.
really like I'm missing out. What the hell is a cemetery walk?
I don't know either, but I'm not missing out. Me and you are so different in this sense. I have no desire to walk through a cemetery. I don't care what holiday it is.
I
Like,
love cemeteries. There's
okay, whatever, freak.
those people deserve to be remembered. Tombstones are
Yeah,
beautiful.
with bright lights and a headless horseman. Like,
That's not real.
I did like how he like tapped that dude on the shoulder and was like, "Get lost." And he's like, "What are you, deaf?" And he's like, "It's Halloween, dick."
Okay. Yeah. It's funny.
How did you feel about the bar when they went to the bar and they were like, hanging out?
Yeah, I don't know. That just seemed weird.
Oh, see, I thought it was charming. I will admit, with when they started dancing and then she was like holding onto his shoulder, so I was like, "That's
Yeah,
weird."
I think
I would
that's
not.
where it got weird. It seemed like a normal sibling thing to do, to go to the bar and sit and,
Yeah,
you
because they were
know,
laughing and having
yeah,
beers and everything. It was very. I thought that part was charming for lack of a better term. But
yeah,
when they were dancing was a little weird. But at the same time, I'm all like, maybe they have a weird relation. Well, they obviously have a weird relationship like that.
for
Um,
sure.
I did. And then when he gets the text, I was all like, dude, you left your phone just sitting there for your sister to see. And that's what gets me. And I listen to these podcasts and I'm all like, if you're cheating or doing something not good, don't leave your phone just sitting around. Okay. Because somebody's going to find out.
Okay, and first of all, um, even if you're like not leaving your phone around, I just have this to say for those of you that don't want people to see shit on your phone, you're screwed. A snooper is like someone
Oh,
who's
yeah.
snooping through your phone looking for shit. They have gone to PI school.
Ain't that the
They
truth?
know what they're
They
doing.
will.
They
Yes.
know about all the special little calculator apps that
Right.
hide your photo. They
Right.
know how to retrieve your deleted
Preach.
files and deleted text message. Like, if you're hiding shit, I have news for you. You're not. She or he is just waiting for a moment to blow your shit up
Ain't
and
that
just
the
lay it
truth?
all out for you.
So true. So true.
So I just kind of go, he made the biggest mistake. Like, I don't have a lock on my phone because I'm a boring suburban
Me
wife.
neither.
I
I
don't
don't.
have anything to hide. But
I'm in the same boat as you. I
if
don't
you
have a
don't
lock on
have
my
a
phone.
code on your thing, and I don't know if when you do have a code, doesn't, if you get a call or a text message, doesn't that pop up anyways to say,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so you're not hiding that shit anyways, and you have him in, he had him in there as real. Like, I've listened to seen enough of that show Cheaters, where the
All
guy's got the
right.
camera and shows up and knocks on the
God,
door,
I love that
that
show.
like people like, one time I think a guy put a girl under in his phone under Domino's pizza, like
Nice. Nice. See, I wouldn't know about all this. This is I'm gonna have to look it up to if I ever feel like cheating.
right, don't do it, just get a divorce. If you're gonna cheat,
Ain't
just
that the
get a
truth? Ain't that the
divorce.
truth?
so so then this is the part where Maggie sees that Rich is calling him, and Maggie spills the tea to us. She tells
Yes.
us everything.
Everything.
So I'll try to shorten this. When Milo was 15 in high school, Rich was his English teacher.
Yes.
He groomed him and
Yes.
then um molested and raped him, but and Milo says they were in love and it was all consensual because Rich
Yes.
is a predator and groomed him
Predator. Yes.
correct,
I
to do that. And now because he was groomed and thought he was in love, he still has these feelings and everything. But his sister, who did do the right thing,
She did.
and she
Yes.
says she would do it again and again and again.
Yes.
And this is also when you find out why they haven't talked in 10 years, because
Yes.
he's very pissed at his sister for doing, for exposing it.
Yeah, which I just want to talk about this for a small second. And I'm not even like talking like as a parent or anything like that. I just feel like when you're 15, I mean, you barely know what's going on in life, let alone what love is, what all that kind of stuff like that. So it's very obvious that the teacher, I don't care if a 15-year-old approached you, it's inappropriate. You are the adult in the situation. You are to blame for this. And for him to be all like, Matt, and he blamed his sister, and she even calls him out for that. You blame
Yeah.
me and everything. And I'm like, he does blame you, but it's not your fault. And like you said, she did the right thing. He was a predator. He took advantage of the situation.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the mom didn't do the correct thing and get both
She
of these two help.
absolutely, yeah. Well, I think we've established she's a
Yeah,
bad
she was
mother.
terrible.
Yeah, she was
So
terrible.
so then it looks like Maggie, or they give the assumption or something that Maggie's pregnant, but she's not because she's
She's not.
vomiting. She's not.
Yes.
But they give the impression
Yes,
that
they
she
did.
is.
Yes.
And then the scene where she's in the pharmacy buying the pregnancy
Oh my
test.
God. Right.
She told the lady, I don't need this. And the lady just puts it back on the shelf and she's like, thank you
Thank
for
you.
your help.
Yeah, she's like, thank you for putting that back for me. And I'm like, that's so good. That's so good. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I want to do that sometime. Just be holding something in an aisle. And when some employee comes up, it's like, can I help you with anything? Yeah, I've changed my mind. Can you put this back for
right.
just
That
watch
was
them put it right on the
I'm in the same boat. That was good. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I did like that. So then they Lance and Milo decide to have a dude's day.
Oh my gosh, which he says the line, I think my dude's day is different from your dude's day. I was like, oh, I'm in the same boat as you, brother. We would not have the same dude's day as him.
No. And while they're having their dude's day, Maggie's at the ice cream shop eating her feelings.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
And what did you think about the little boy flipping his mom off and she goes
Oh,
right back at you?
she was nicer than I was. Let my kids flip me off, and I will
When
CPS will
they're
be
like
called.
what, 7 or 8,
I
that
would have
kid
beat the
couldn't have
shit
been.
out of that kid. I've been like, oh, you wanna play games, bitch? You wanna play games, bitch? And like I would have been like, oh no. Yes, that kid. I wrote down that kid was a dick.
Yeah.
Um,
So go
go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna ask you, do you think go ahead with the ice cream schoolmate thing?
Yeah, so she runs into an old classmate, and of course, the old classmate's all excited, and she's just like, go fuck yourself. Let me eat my emotions in this cup of ice cream right now.
Right. Yeah. And she got her period during that whole conversation.
Yes.
She was like crying, but she was really like crying tears of happiness because she was happy that she wasn't preggers.
Yep.
Um, I don't know if this happens before or after, but can we talk about Bill Hader telling Lance
So first,
about
before that, she goes to
yeah,
the
go ahead.
store and buys the fish.
Oh, yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah.
super excited because she's
Oh,
not pregnant, and she goes and buys the goldfish. While
yes.
she's buying the goldfish, Milo feels bad for Lance and just casually drops in there, when Maggie was little and didn't want to take her medicine, she would hide it in places where no one could find
Yeah, where you wouldn't
them.
think to look and everything. Can I ask
Yeah.
you a question? Do you
Mhm.
think it was wrong for Milo to tell Lance about the pills?
Well, there's a whole lot in that situation. I say
Yes.
yes. That wasn't his information to tell.
I agree. I'm in the same boat as you.
She should have been able to say, I don't want kids, or I'm not ready for kids. She
Right.
shouldn't have had to have that secret to begin
Yeah,
with, but that's not his to tell.
I agree 100%. That's none of his business. He shouldn't have said that. And plus,
But
she told him that in confidence.
mhm,
And what relationship are you setting up if you can't tell your sibling a secret
your
and then
twin
keep it?
sibling.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm all like, that's you broke the trust there, right then and
Yeah.
there.
And so Lance finds the pills and confronts Maggie,
Mhm.
which then causes Maggie and Milo to have a fight, which then inadvertently, not at any cause to the fish, causes the fishies to die.
Yes, which can I just say right now, I laughed at this scene. I don't know how you felt about it because she walks in, she's like, "Oh shit," and the fish are like in the bags all dead and everything. And I love how she puts them in that goldfish that
Aquarium.
container or whatever, and she's like stirring it around like, "Come back." She's like trying to stir him back to life, and she's like making a dead fish stew, like trying to stir him back to life. And then
She's
she
throwing water in there, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's you can't
and
do
then
that.
yeah, and then she throws it on the ground, and I'm all like, "Man, you really like to break fish tanks, lady. Like, you're crazy."
It's
But
her therapy.
yeah, ain't that the truth? Which I'm all like, "Hey, it's cool. I've been to those where you smash stuff to feel better. It's actually nice."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So then Milo
can we go
confronts.
back just two
Yeah,
seconds when she
yeah, yeah.
confronts Bill Hader about telling about the pills and everything?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She was a little hardcore when she was like, "Well, maybe next time you should cut a little deeper." I was like, that was really harsh. I get it that you're mad at him, but yeah, and we say things we regret when we're mad, but that
But
was
you say things like that when you're a kid and you don't know
right.
better.
Yes.
Adults know better.
Yeah, like I was like, that was harsh. Your brother, he's obviously got some issues. You shouldn't be saying shit like that. Come on, calm it down, sister.
Okay, can I just say both of these characters need a lot of therapy. They
Oh yeah,
both
they
have
do.
issues. They should invest in a good therapist. Hey, they
Yes.
could even do that nowadays. They have that Better Me, so they don't even got to leave their house. They just, pop open the app in their home on their
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, they need something.
They do
They
for
need
sure.
Jesus. Anyways, okay.
So then Maggie decides she's going to commit suicide. And can I just say,
Yes.
she picks the worst way in the world. She
I thought
decides she is going to tie weights around her waist and jump into the deep end of a swimming pool. She's going to drown herself.
I thought it was inventive because I was like, oh, I wouldn't have think of that. I would have thought of a more, abrupt way, but she was all like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit in a pool for a hot minute. Like,
Well, I don't know if
um,
it's true because I've never died, but they
right.
say drowning is one of the
I
worst ways to die.
I
It's like
agree with you.
suffocating.
I will have to say though, and I've heard this before, but I don't know how true it is that when people like for instance, that they jump off a building like right before they hit the ground, they regret it. And you could see on her face like the moment she regretted this whole
Oh,
drowning
that's
thing.
totally true because have you ever seen those documentaries of the people that have survived jumping over the Golden Gate Bridge? And they're
Yes.
like the minute they jumped, they like regretted it.
Yes, I've seen that, but it's called The Bridge. I think it's
Yep.
called. Yeah, I did see that
Or
documentary.
is that the jumper one?
I'm not
There's
quite sure.
also one called Jumpers or something, and it talks
Yeah.
about, yeah, but it's all about people who did that. And yeah, so that's like apparently a real thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but I love the look on her face when she's like, "Oh, fuck, I made a mistake." And then she can't untie herself cuz she did too good of a job, and I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
that's what you get, honey."
And
Like
guess who's there to rescue her? Because he
her
knows exactly
brother.
what he's going to do. And he
Yes.
knew how she was going to do it. I would have never in a million years said she's going to drown herself in a pool
Which that
because
goes
at the
back to
beginning
my
she was going to take a handful of pills.
yeah, which that goes back to my first thing with the whole twin sensing thing. Like, listen, I'm a twin, and I don't believe in that nonsense. Like, I don't feel a connection in terms of like a psychic connection with my sibling. I just love him to death.
And
But
I would assume, and I'm not even saying this because you guys are my siblings, I'm saying this because I would have thought if anyone would have had that, it would have been you and your twin because you guys are literally, and you were like mirror images of each other when you were little. You had your own language. You did everything together. I mean, I think you were like 11 or 12 and you were still dressing the
Oh
same.
yeah, we dressed the same till sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
regret
go, if
it.
any set of twins was going to have that shit, I would have thought it would have been you
Yeah, I don't
guys.
believe in any of that magical stuff. It's like ridiculous, but it's fine. If you believe in it though, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I don't believe
Hey,
it.
you and your twins are a level higher than them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, but we don't believe in Scientology either.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, you are what is that called? Beta 11 or yeah,
right.
exactly. You guys are top level twin, okay? Which
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. You have all the level twin you want.
So when he saves her, like something happens and they decide they're gonna get their shit together and they move in together, like they move away and they move in together is what the impression I got. I don't know, but it
Yeah,
ends really weird,
yeah,
like
I
they're
didn't like the
living
ending because I'm in the same. I didn't get where this movie ended. That like I wrote down. I don't what happened
yeah,
because I'm like he saved her and then what?
and
You
then they're
know?
like in a car
Yeah.
driving or something. So
Yeah.
did they move to LA and they're living in his house?
Yes.
Sure, let's go
Sure.
with that.
Yeah. Whatever
Because
you say, I'm gonna say
because
yes
she
to because
left
I honestly
Lance when she told Lance she was
yes.
sleeping with other people.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm just super confused by the ending.
I'm
That
in the
is,
same
the
boat.
ending is the worst part because I
Right.
don't know what happened.
I'm in the same boat as you. I have no idea where this ended, and I'm all like, okay, that's it. Okay, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, overall, this movie had like some weird points to it. I mean, it wasn't bad.
I agree.
I just think it was open, it just left too many opens
Yeah.
or too many questions. Like,
Yeah, it was very open-ended. Very
yeah, I don't know. I'd never seen it before. Will I watch it again? Probably not, because it'll probably give me more questions again. I'll probably see it again. I'll be like, oh, look at that. He's writing a pentagram on the back and Illuminati, you
right.
know. So do you have anything else you would like to say about
I
this
just
movie?
wrote down what I said at the beginning. I do feel like even though this movie like even though you might have falling out with your sibling, I think that those are relationships that are worth fighting for, just because, like you and I, like I said before, we don't live in the same state, but I think that it's like a bank account. You can't just go to your bank account and expect something to be there when you show up.
Right.
You have to put something in to
Yeah.
get something out of it. So I feel like a sibling relationship is worth fighting for, and I think that this movie really highlights that
Yeah.
a sibling relationship is worth fighting for. I know, getting all deep on you.
I know this was
That
like a
came out wrong.
really serious
Yeah,
situation tonight.
but I
So
did write that down in my notes.
yeah. So, alrighty. So now we'll move on to the next portion of our show. What is your question for today?
Okay, so mine's really simple. What is your favorite Bill Hader movie?
Okay, and I know this is gonna sound silly, but I had like three that I debated between because this is like one of the rare movies, like the
Mhm.
Skeleton Twins, where he plays like a main character. He
Right?
plays excellent supporting characters.
I agree.
And so I had multiples I could pick between. Like I said, I had three that really came into it. So I decided to pick Paul. So in Paul, he's trying to find Paul. He is an FBI
I've
agent.
never seen it before, so I
You've
have
never seen Paul?
no.
Oh my God. I love Paul. So it's the guys that did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and The End of the World. They are
Oh yeah,
two,
it's the movie, the alien movie.
yeah, they're
Oh,
from
I
England
didn't
and they
see it. I
rent an
didn't see it.
RV and they're going to all these weird UFO places in America. And they actually come across Paul, who was part of the Area
Is
51 and
he
everything.
Paul?
The alien's name is Paul.
Oh, and he plays that character?
No, he plays the FBI agent or the
Oh,
secret
okay.
agent that's trying to track. So him and his partner are like the bumbling idiots. And Jason Bateman is in this movie and he's like their boss or whatever. And they're trying to track down and find Paul, and him and his character are just or him and his partner are just hysterical because they just keep doing stupid stuff, or they're like, they see a cartoon drawing of a woman with 3 tits and one guy goes, well, why not 4? And he's all like, now that's just ridiculous, you know? So, I mean, I debated between picking Super Bad, where he's the cop, or Forgetting Sarah, or Sarah Marshall, where he's the brother-in-law of whatever the hell his name is. And he's giving him advice because he's like his agent and his brother-in-law or something. And he's always giving him advice over video chat.
Right.
Oh, but I went with his character in Paul.
Right on.
What about you?
Well, I picked Tropic Thunder because
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's like an assistant to Tom Cruise's character, the bald guy. And even though he's like such a minuscule character in this, I love this movie so much that I just picked it. Like I was like, oh, screw it. It's a Bill Hader movie. I'm picking it.
Nice.
What's your question?
So my question is, what is your favorite Kristen Wiig movie?
No, right on. Bridesmaids. That's
of
just
course.
Yeah, of course. Like, it's so classic. I love that movie. It's so funny. I love when she freaks out and she's like, Paris, seriously? And then her friends all like, why couldn't you just be happy to my face and then talk shit about me behind my back? I'm like, oh, that's so true. Just do that and everything. It's such a good movie. I love that movie.
I love when she's like at that scene too, and she's like, you're probably having your ass bleed. She's like, I do. And I love my new asshole.
Right. Yeah. And she tears that big Paris cookie apart, but she's like not doing a good job of it.
She tries like punching it. Nothing.
Right. And then like the fountain, she's like, this is really hot.
It gets melted chocolate. Makes sense.
Oh, when she's in the car with the lemonade, she's like, oh, that's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
I love the airplane movie too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm ready to party.
And the lady sitting next to her that's just like agging pot stirring.
Right, yeah. She's like, the plane's gonna crash. And I'm like, why would you say that to her? She's already crazy.
My psychic said the plane's gonna crash.
What's your favorite Kristen Wiig movie?
The same.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, we could talk about this movie. We should do that movie. We should do wedding movies.
Or when they're in the bridal shop and they're trying on the dresses and they're all sweating bullets, and she's like, no, I'm good. I'm actually hungry.
Yeah. And she's like eating the chocolate covered almond. She's like, delicious or whatever. She's like, I don't remember.
Delicious.
Yeah,
she's like,
we should do that movie. We should do that movie. She's just shitting. She's just shitting in the street.
There it is. Just shitting in the street. All right. So, oh boy. So my question for you now is, would you recommend this movie?
I actually would. You know, like I said before, even though it's dark, I think it just highlights, you know, that sibling relationships are really worth fighting for and having and everything. So I would suggest watching this movie.
I would agree. I think you should see it. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, would I recommend multiple watchings? I mean, it all depends on what you can handle. So
yeah, but it was
but
good.
At least once for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I mean, my favorite scene is still the dancing and lip syncing.
Oh my God. Yeah. We're going to
I love that so much.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. We really would appreciate it. We'll also be posting this video to our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to us at YouTube BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we have started a Patreon, so with plenty of different levels that you guys can check out. There's one perfect for you, and all of your interests. And the link for that will be in the description below. And guys, really, you're going to want to join us. You get to see more of our faces, a lot more content. It'll be great. And don't forget the most important thing: to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, guys.
Bye.